My name is Coralie Jensen, and I will be presenting on the article In Search of a Moral Manager by Archie B. Carroll. This article covers three different types of management. The three different types of management that Carroll presents are moral management, immoral management, and amoral management. In the next few slides, I'll be covering characteristics that Archie Carroll presents, as well as examples of each of these types of management. And I would like you just to kind of keep in your mind the question of which one will you be in. I'm sure you're already drawing a conclusion to it, but let's see if by the end of the presentation your conclusion is still the same. The first type of management I would like to present to you is moral management. The characteristics are as follows. Moral managers focus on normal ethics, which means that they don't pick and choose which ethics that they want to use based on what's convenient for them. Moral managers use professional conduct in their business. Moral management wants to succeed, but only if it's ethical. They don't want to succeed if they have to break any rules or anything. And finally, moral management will be balanced, fair, and unselfish. And so they will look at the best way to do business in the most unselfish way, even if it means giving up a company gain so that they're still following ethics. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have immoral management. The characteristics of immoral management are that they are unethical. They make selfish decisions, so they look at company gain and how it can best, they move situations to best improve that gain. They care only about company gains. They view legal standards as barriers and will do anything that they can to circumvent the legal standards. And finally, they cut corners and take an easy way out. And the best example that I can give of immoral managers is the one Carroll gives. He gives the example of Brown and Root Inc., in which multiple inspectors had been fired during the building of a nuclear power plant, and it was later found out that they were fired because the inspectors were doing their job too well, and they refused to overlook certain flaws. An example of a moral manager is one that the example that Carroll gives is Hasbro toys, and they do psychological testing on their toys before they distribute them out to kids. And if there's any type of negative effects, then they won't distribute them. So they're giving up that corporate gain in exchange for the ethical views on how it will affect their customers. The final type of management is amoral management, and this is a hybrid between both moral management and immoral management. And the two types of amoral management that Carroll presents is intentional and unintentional. Intentional amoral management, they don't factor in ethical consideration. They live in kind of two separate worlds, where in their everyday personal life they can be very ethical, but ethics don't have a place in their business life. And unintentional amoral management, which means they're just morally casual, careless, and inattentive. So they're just kind of lazy when it comes to ethics. The example that Carroll gives in his article is when PepsiCo advertised their Fritos brand as Fritos Banditos, and they ended up offending a lot of the Mexican American population. In conclusion, I want to remind you of the three different types of managers that we've discussed. There's moral, immoral, and amoral. And once again, I want to ask you, what category do you fall into? Is it the same one that you thought at the beginning of the presentation, or is it a different one? And then keep in mind which one you want to strive to become to. And remember that as you're making your business decisions, and hopefully we can all become better moral managers in the future. Thank you.